So look, let me tell y'all, if y'all just coming in, y'all need to share, like, comment. Let me know where y'all coming in from. The links are already in the description, in the comment section to get the magazine. Look, this is some hot stuff. This is some fire girl hot stuff off the press. So look, I want to bring Mona Gray back to the fire stage. She got disconnected. No, 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 we gonna finish this. The women need to hear from you, okay? So look, while you're here, finish telling us how you're making history and give the people 3 tips on how she can make her story count and come out of those great areas, honey.
Listen, I'm gonna make this fast because here in Georgia, I don't know what's going on with this weather, but the wind is winding. It is the other day it was 80. Now it's like 4. We got a freeze warning. So I'm gonna speed it up a little bit so I'm disconnected again. But one of the biggest things when I'm assisting a woman in clearing the gray areas of her life is we talk about boundaries, right? And boundaries, like I was saying, boundaries they're not walls, like they're gates and fences that allow us to respect our needs, while honoring the freedom that we deserve as well as others, right? And one of the biggest things that women I find is so hard for us to do is say no, period. Like literally, no, period. We try to please everyone. We're moms, we're sisters, we're cousins, we're aunties, we're employees. All those titles that we have, we don't say yes to ourselves because we're so busy saying yes to everyone else and we're too exhausted. So let me say this, setting boundaries with love and grace is what I teach a lot of women, right? Setting boundaries with love means recognizing our own value and the values of others. It's about communicating the needs and the limits in a way that's clear, it's direct, and it's kind. For instance, telling a loved one like, listen, I value our time together, but today I just need a break. And that's okay, because that's me. When I'm on, y'all. I'm on. When I'm off, that's exactly what I am. I'm off. I don't want to talk on the phone. I don't want to do anything. And when growing up, I used to say, I'm an only child. I'm used to being by myself. No, it's because I like my peace. I like my peace. And if someone can't understand that, then unfortunately, I may have to shift you into another part of my life, or you may have to exit stage left, right? And so, grace comes into play when we're setting boundaries without guilt and without aggression, right? It's about like holding our saying no softly and understanding that while we can't control others' reactions, we can control our approach. And so, 3 of the things that I would say is number 1, be bold. That's one thing that it's hard for us to do because we're beat up already. Black women, we are beat up every single day. But I don't care. No matter what, be bold. If you don't feel like it, no, period. And that's it. You don't owe anybody an explanation after that. Be courageous. Again, we're beat up every single day. But in order to move from the past to the front, you got to clear that gray area by being courageous enough to recognize I can't live back here anymore. In order for me to gain my goals, I gotta let go of some stuff. And most importantly, show up. Show up for yourself. Show up for your children. I have 2 daughters. I have 3 kids, right? Look, I say I have adults now because they're all adults, but I still have 2. I have 2 daughters and I have a son. But my daughters, I need them to know that they need to show up and they need to set boundaries with other people because other people will take advantage of you. Period. Those are my 3 tips on how to set boundaries with love and grace every day. And guys, please remember, if you don't remember anything else from me, no is a complete sentence. Period.
There you have it. No, that's not that. I feel so good. No, 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 no.
Practice it.
Oh no,
Look in the mirror.
no,
No.
Nope. Nada.
Nope.
No. I love
No,
it. I love it. I tell people I want to give you the gift of no. It's the
that's it.
no. Thank you, Mona. Thank you, Mona. Thank you, Mona. Thank you, Mona. So listen, you just coming in. You already know. Like, share, tag another sister. Get this word out. The Her Fire magazine, the fourth edition, Women Making Her Story, is in full effect. We're celebrating Women's History Month, and women are doing their thing. Look, we taking off the hats. We're taking off all the titles and accolades, and we're being women making our mark in this world. Are y'all ready for the next woman that is making her story? This is none other than Alyissa Johnson, aka Allie, coming to the fire stage. Allie, introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do.
Hello, ladies. Again, I'm Alyssa Johnson, also known as Virtuous on social media. I am a financial coach, and also I have a platform called Making Connections with Allie. And so, I enjoy telling people's story. I enjoy sharing tidbits and things that I've learned along the way. So, I used to be these ladies that they're talking about, kind of shame, scared to show up and all that kind of stuff. Because, I didn't know what it looked like to be successful or to, I felt intimidated because maybe I wasn't, like as energetic as precious, but I love it because I found out as I showed up, as I came into the room, all that stuff I learned and it started, filtering inside of me. And so I could have that energy, I could have that boldness just to really be honest and be like, I'm scared, you know? And so I think that's so important. So, but that's what I do, making connections with Allie.
Hey, 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 I love it. 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 Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So look, Allie, if how are you making history in this world and leaving your legacy and your mark in this world?
So, again, I learned that, if somebody doesn't invite you to their platform, create your own. And so that's where making connections was developed. I was like, to, I have stuff to say, but like I'm kind of nervous. So this is the way I can show up. But then once I showed up, it was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. The people that God was bringing to me, because I was like, how do I get my next guest? What are we going to talk about? How do you do this? But I just found that as I continued to show up, God showed up for me and on my behalf. And, he sent people to me. And so the thing about it is I learned that you have to be vulnerable. As much as we don't want to be that, as much as we want to do everything ourselves, some of the ladies have already said you can't do it by yourself, because it's the things that we learn from each other. It's the energy that we bring when we're together. And, the thing about it, a lot of people live in shame. They're ashamed to tell their story. They're ashamed to say where they are at the moment. And so that's where, like the financial thing came because I was like, I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to the ends not meet. You know what I'm saying? You working every day. And so what do we have to shift to live a better life? Because God died so that we might have life and have it more abundantly. And so, I was like, I'm not showing up in abundance. I'm not representing my father. So, you have to be vulnerable. You have to get rid of the shame. And you have to, but in order to do it, you have to face it. Okay. These are the decisions I made. I did it, but guess what? Everywhere I find myself, God will give me a way of escape. And so, you just got to believe and trust and keep going. And so I think I'm just making history by helping other women. I believe that the stories that I tell, because I had to come to the realization that what if nobody's showing up live while we're on live? I'm not getting the likes, I'm not getting the shares, but somewhere down the road, maybe 2 years from now, somebody's going to listen to this video and they're going to be impacted, and it's going to be exactly what they need in this moment.
I absolutely love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look, she have already gave her points. Let go of the shame. What else she say? Show up,
Be vulnerable,
be vulnerable,
show up,
be
know your
transparent,
worth,
know your worth.
trust God.
I mean,
Do a little extra in there.
That is it. That is the key. Like all you ladies have said some very, very powerful things. And if you are listening, go back and listen to the recording. When you go back and listen to the recording, have your pens and paper. If success leaves clues, then what clues are you following? If success really leave clues, and what clues are you really following? These women are dropping powerful nuggets, life-changing nuggets. We have Mona talking about those gray areas. Sometimes we do have to do shadow work. Not sometimes, all the time, continually, we have to do shadow work. Precious talking about being bold, showing up, all those things. Like, look, it's not bragging on yourself. You're telling facts, you're telling truth. And a lot of women, especially Black women, have an issue with bragging and telling all the good things that she are doing. So I see Precious, do you have any questions for me?
I do. First of all, these queens is just too much for me. I'm loving it. I am loving the fact that we don't feel competition. We've all doing it in our own way. But my question for you, Queen Angela, is how can we be more on fire? How can we be more on fire, not just in our businesses, but in our lives and our relationships and things like that? How can we really do that? All of us have fire, but I'm sure there's something we're not on fire on in our own lives. And I got some more questions, but I'll ask that first.
You know what? I would say the first thing to always come to mind is make sure your cup is full. Right? When you make sure your cup is full, there is no room for doubt. There is no room for fear. There is no room for anxiety. There is no room for double-mindedness because you are full. You are full of the creativity. You are full of your feminine energy. You are full of your God idea. You are full of God consciousness. You are full of everything that God purposed to have in you. And what often happens is women, we pour out to so many people, we serve and wear so many hats. And when it's time to show up for ourselves, we're empty, we're frustrated, we're depleted, we're sad, we're all these things. But if you wake up to say every day, I'm going to fill my cup up, that helps keep your fire burning. Not just your fire, but you can spread onto other women. So for me, if living a life is on fire, is making sure your cup is full, making sure you're pouring into your vessel. We are vessels of God. We hold God's presence. And when that is empty, that's when we can't do what we need to do to the fullest, and how we do it, like we only can do it how God has called us to do it, do it, do it, do it. So that's what I would say. Another question.
So, Angela, a lot of people, they think there's only one number one, right? There's only one person who could be on top. You got to be
me.
the
That's me.
But how does another person show up when they realize, okay, but there's room at the top for all of us? Help us with that.
I think when you remove your competition, like there's a lot of amazing speakers, trainers, and we're all on the line. We are great in our own area. When you take away the competition and you say, I'm the best me that I can be in this lifetime. I'm the only person who can do what I do, how I do it, like God called me to do it, when I do it. And you have that attitude. For me, it took me to do that and stop comparing myself to other people. Stop comparing my process. Stop comparing my business. Stop comparing my books and stop comparing my services, because the speaking industry is saturated. But there's only one AB in this world. I don't care who stepped on the stage, who stepped in the room. There is only one AB, and I am number one. I'm number one in my life. You can be number one in your life, but I'm number one in my life. I removed everybody, every other speaker, and I do me how God called me to do me. And that's how I do it.
Amen. AB, I got a question for you. So what has been the most rewarding aspect of creating space for women's voices in their stories?
Ooh, ooh, you know what? In all honesty, and I'm gonna say this without crying, when she say, I finally know my worth. When she say I finally know my worth, who I am, and how to show up. Because women, we're often left worthless. We often left from dead end relationships, not knowing our worth. We often compare our worth to what's in our bank account. We often compare our worth to how our body shape, how our hair look, our skin complexion. That's not your worth. My worth is not the 265 pounds that I wear. My worth is not my belly rolls or my backpack. My worth is in the God that's inside of me. So when she say, you help me discover my worth, hands down, that makes my day. That makes my day.
I think it's a follow-up to Alicia. And I get this question a lot, and I really want to hear your thoughts. Every big business was once small. And there are a lot of women out here questioning, why is she selected? Why are they selected? Why are, like, comparison being a thief of joy. How do you impress upon women to see themselves as a celebrity of their own brand before anybody else acknowledges them?
I would say
That was a follow-up, right, Queen Lisa?
right. I would say
That was a follow-up.
Yes.
make it a routine in celebrating every small point of your life. I tell AB, girl, you are the shit. Okay. You are the bomb.com. You are the one. I tell me that, right? I don't wait for other people to proclaim me as famous, as celebrity. I tell me that. I declare that. And when you declare that and you show up as that, then everybody else will know that. You know what? When you get people to treat you well, they celebrate you. You're only treating me how I treat me because I set the tone. You're only telling me I'm proud of you because I have already told me I'm proud of you. Because people come into your life, they are a mere reflection of who you are. So when women come and ask me, how do you do this? I decided that I was enough. I decided that I was chosen. I decided that I was going to yield to the call that was on my life, regardless of where I live, regardless what was in my bank account, regardless of who supported me, regardless of how many people was in the room, how many ticket sales, that I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it to the fullest. And I'm going to show up like the room is packed and it can only be 5 people in there. I'm going to show up like you've been waiting to hear what I had to say because I'm the shit, right? I'm the celebrity and I am the woman who's, I was going to say in charge. I don't talk like that, but I am the one that was chosen for this time and this season to set this world ablaze.
Well, I have a follow-up question from Precious Questions, which was a follow-up question to Emily's question. So my next question is, so we talk about boldness, we talk about showing up. You mentioned showing up several times, right? What advice do you have for women who want to support other women, but they don't know where to start? Because even though we may sit here and we are not in competition with one another, there are other women who feel like, I'm not going to step out because they're not going to like me, or I don't look like her. My hair is not like her. I can't rock a blue wig like Precious. I can't be the blonde bombshell today and tomorrow I'll be some, and so that comparison spirit is something that's out there. And so there are a lot of women who don't know how to support, they really don't even know really how to support themselves, right? But what advice would you give for women who want to support others, who want to show other women that they're there for them, but they just don't know where to start?
I would say ask. Ask, sis, how can I support you? And she may say, you can support me by sharing my post. You can support me by telling people about my business. You can support me just by encouraging me. It's really just simply asking, how can I support you, and not look for anything in return? Because oftentimes when you ask that question, hey, support my business. If I say support me by buying a book, don't counteract and say, well, here, buy my book. You know what I'm saying? Support without wanting something in return. And then the law of reciprocity is going to take place if you keep doing that. I'm only able to do what I do because I supported other women. I don't mind. I created what I needed. And that was one of the big things that Lisa Nichols taught me. You create what you needed. I needed a platform, so I created it. I needed somebody to believe in me, so I believed in other women. I wanted somebody to support me and celebrate me, so I started celebrating and supporting other women. I understood the law of reciprocity. I sowed seeds into other people's lives. And that's why people are able to sow seeds into my life. Laws do not change. God's laws do not change. The laws of the universe are universal. They do not change. They don't care what you say. The laws work on what you do. And that's any other questions? I like this. I'm always interviewing other people and never really get interviewed myself. I like this.
Yeah, we loving it too. I mean, every woman has had a moment where they had to make the decision to go forward or to just submit and do what everybody else is doing. What was that moment for you?
That I had to ask me that one more time.
So like if like starting a company and the sales don't come in fast enough, or you had an idea, the idea did multiply like everybody says on social media, 1 million in 1 hour. Like, was there anything in your life where you were sitting here like, do I fold? Or do I keep going even if the money isn't here? Do I keep going because God told me to? Was there one that you remember so vividly, and because you made the step forward, you were rewarded in the end?
You know, I'm saying I had so many of those days. My clients often tell me, you make this look easy. Baby, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not just simple as taking a class, getting a certification. It's not just that simple, right? In 2017, I walked off my job at Amazon making $11.50, driving Uber on the side, freshly empty nester. I thought everything was going to be gravy, right? Walked off the job to start my business, not knowing 6 months later I was going to be homeless in the middle of the Queen Takeover tour. And I was sitting in my dining room asking God, who can I call for help? I had a student graduating in Dallas with no gas, no money to get there, facing eviction. Precious, what do I do? I'm crying out, God, I need help. And in the midst, in a still small voice, he said, who do you need to be? That's exactly what I did. I was like, huh? He said, who do you need to be? And in that moment, I had to wipe my tears from my eyes, pull out a piece of paper and a pen. And the first thing I wrote down, that I have to be a determined woman. Because I was always start and stop. I had to be determined that I was never going to give up on what God called me to do. Even when they told me, this is not what you're called to do. You're not qualified. You don't have the degree. You can't train other people. You're not ready. But I had to be determined that I was going to trust God in what God told me to do. And many people don't know at that time, I had just started back speaking because I told God I was never going to speak again. But that determination that year, homeless, renting out somebody's room. I produced 2 Amazon bestseller books. Got to Dallas, finished the tour. And in that state of mind, that's when I made the bold decision that I was going to do this at all costs. I don't care who was there. I don't care what comes through life. I don't care what bill is not going to be paid, that AB was going to show up at all costs. Have the road have been easy? Hell no. Hell no. Have I faced some other financial challenges? Hell yes. But am I still standing? Yes. Am I still going? Yes. Am I ever going to stop? No. Because I'm on a mission to set this world afire. I'm on a mission to help women discover their voice, show up and fight. I don't care if I have to do it crawling. I don't care. I would say, Harriet Tubman said, I could have freed 1,000 slaves only if they knew that they were slaves. And I always say, there's so many other women that I can train, I can coach. Only if they knew I was their coach. Only if they knew I was the person they was praying for. Only if they knew that I was sent by God to help them live this life on fire. So I would say, will there ever be many days that I would feel like giving up? Yes. Will I ever give up? No. Because I made a conscious decision. I made a God decision that I was going to see this to the end. And like Les Brown always say, that I was going to live full and I was going to die empty. I'm going to die empty. Not another word that I could ever give. Not ever message I can ever speak. Not another client I can ever touch. That I've done everything that God has sent me on this earth to do, to speak, to write, and lives to touch.
I don't have a question. I have a quick statement. When God gives you a vision, when he gives you a word, who are you to not follow through? It's like if God says,
yeah,
if he says, AB, you're going to do this, you can run, and run. But eventually you're going to be so tired. He's going to be like, okay, now are you ready?
Are you ready?
And when he gives you something, trust in knowing that he's going to see it through because he put it in you for a reason, because his glory has to come out of it one way or the other. Is it going to be easy? Like you said, absolutely not. But who are we to disrespect our Father by not doing what he's told us to do? When you have a story inside of you, each one of us have a story. Precious, the story. Oh my good girl, when I'm done, I'm stalking you. Just know. But my point is, when you have a story inside of you, your story, it's not for you. It's for someone else. That's what our testimonies are for. Our testimonies, yeah, they're for us. We got the blessing out of it, and we made it through. But it's for somebody else. And the longer that you take to give your story, the longer it's going to take for somebody else to be blessed.
Yes.
I just want to say that.
Listen. This has been a time. Any last final words before we close out from anybody?
My name is Precious Williams. I am the proud founder and CEO of the Perfect Pitch Group. I am honored to be here with y'all tonight. If you do want to look me up, my website is www.perfectpitchgroup.com. On LinkedIn, I am Precious L. Williams, killer pitchmaster. Always gotta stay on brand. And more importantly, I pray that you all listened to the words that come out each one of these queens. I hope you're on fire. And remember, you can slay all competition. What a killer pitch. Killer pitch master says. Thank you.
Yes, it has been an honor to be here. I often think about AB when I met her and how she said, I'm not scared of you. I'm not afraid of what you're going through. And I was like, I don't know who this woman thinks she is, but it took that to, get my attention. Like, okay, she's calling me out on what I'm scared of. And so thank you, AB, for this platform. Thank you for what you're doing for all of us. And, again, like Precious was saying, I am Allie Virtuous on social media. You can follow Making Connections with Allie. Yeah, we are restructuring, and I'm excited about that. So stay tuned for what's to come.
Okay, and that leaves me. First of all, AB, thank you so much for this opportunity. And ladies, Precious, Allie, it's been such a wonderful time spending this last hour with you. You guys are absolutely amazing. I adore you, and I will be following you both. My name is Mona Gray. I am the owner of Clear the Gray. You can follow me on social media on Instagram. I'm at clearthegray_coaching. But you can also follow me on my website at www.clearthegray.com. I am the boundary hunter, and I am making her story count. Thank you.
Yes, ladies. Listen, why is it so important to honor women while they still here? I think about my aunt and my grandmother that passed about 10, 15 years ago, right? Maybe lived a little bit longer. I don't think they really knew what they meant to me. I don't think that I was in a space that I could articulate all the things that they taught me and didn't even know it. I don't understand, or they wouldn't understand the call on my life, but now they're not here to see it. It's so important to give people their flowers while they're living so they can know how important their life is now. Many people take life for granted. Many people go on day to day not knowing why they were created, why God called them. And I want every woman, every person that crosses my path to know that they are important to me. I appreciate them. I see them. I celebrate them. This is the fourth edition of the Her Fire magazine, and we are women making her story count. My name is AB, and you guys already know I'm going to see you in the fire. You guys be blessed, be blessed, be blessed, because we are women making history.